6 years old.
There are many children in Africa who are left orphans due to death of their poor parents. Some of these destitute children have both parents or single parent who live in extreme poverty. Most of these children are left without anyone to take care of them, and they end up in destitution and cycle of poverty. Despite all these challenges, these children, these ones in particular, have hope. They are the exception. These are situations Anford endeavor to help children out of, so as to cross obstacles of life by the use of education. Anford endeavor funding indigenous activities by removing barriers such as destitution, deprivation, oppression, apathy, austerity, poverty, ignorance, and disease without considering faith, culture, gender, race, political affiliations, background, belief or religion. Despair into hope in faces full of despair and bringing to life dreams that were long buried in depths of faint hearts of these children. Our achievements has been possible through the support and dedication of friends, well-wishers, volunteers who dedicated their time, prayers, and resources to the good work we do at the grassroots. We teach the pre-primary school children healthcare and hygiene, general safety and good behavior in the society, how to eat safely and how to stay with the public, wash hands before eating and wash themselves, to wash faces, use the toilet safely, reading, writing, singing, dancing, drawing, painting, and even to make their prayers. So that is what we do in baby class. Without support, starving children remain with no option than to eat disposed food from the garbage and hotel leftovers, or when they find good Samaritan to help them with lunch meal. Some children are homeless and sleep on corridors along the streets. With these challenges, such children lose chances for all to earn education and empowerment so as to live a reasonable and independent life. As a result of ignorance, they become vulnerable to very casual and rewarding unemployment or very casual jobs, while others get involved in crime, drugs, and substance abuse. With friends, Answer for Dignity NGO is committed to help the disadvantaged children through where we could, to the best of our ability, after seeing them left without reliable foundation to take care of them. Anford have started a program that will help the destitute children. Our school lunch feeding program have been able to support a few of them, whereby we could only manage 1 meal a day. Anford also provide rehabilitation for children and with guiding and counseling on behavioral change communications, encouragement of basic English literacy, primary and secondary education through volunteers and well-wishers. We are determined to make this program successful and bring the children to a total change by providing them proper diet, a good home, better education, and medicine healthcare. These are some among other challenges that Anford faces, and we feel like giving up sometimes, but we still see these children have a future, and we can inspire their success jointly with sponsors and volunteers. Would you like to help others cross obstacles of life? Would you like to be part of this charity service to the poor? Will you wish to volunteer for a cause to the destitute children? Would you like to put your hand on the education charity to the disadvantaged? Is there anything you can do to help? Maybe fundraising for our programs or marketing outreach? I believe it's possible, and you can heartedly support. For any help you wish to give to these children, you will be highly appreciated. You can stand with the children in prayer, send counseling materials, used or unused clothing, education materials such as capacity building technical training tools and services, or any other usable materials. You can also visit our children community and volunteer with Anford projects. You can also send us financial support, maybe one time, weekly, monthly, quarterly or annually, to cater for their education needs, food, clothing, shelter or house rent, medicine, healthcare and hygiene, among other needs. You can sponsor at least 1 or even 2 children. at €60 monthly to reach their dreams and desired destiny. You can also market us by distributing our mobilization cards and share information about Unfold with your community, friends, workmates, relatives, and any person or institution that you know can be able to help these disadvantaged children in Kenya, Eastern Africa. These children need your help. They need your prayer, support, and they need your love too. Make them reach their desired destiny. They have no one to look into their bright, self-reliant future. They have no one they are looking for. But you can try and fill this gap of despair into hope. We would like to hear from you. We would like you to write to our email, nairobi@anford@gmail.com, and tell us what you can do. You can call our mobile coordinator telephone number, +254 722 322 322. Our Skype teams are live on air. Please feel welcome to join our network by the search and call through our Skype name, Answer for Dignity. Any help, no matter how little, no matter what, how big it might be, wherever you give to the destitute children, God will really bless you and yours. It is our desire to see these children living a dignified lifestyle with the heartfelt support of friends and charity well-wishers, to see light in the end of the tunnel. Having happy life although they lost their beloved one, together we can still fill the gap by loving them and showing them there is hope. Some of the marginalized children don't even know who to call a relative because they were rejected the moment their parents died. After death of some of their parents, who may be as a result of HIV/AIDS, such children get rejected because in some of African cultures, they believe it's a curse. Not all children at Unfold are orphans. Some of our children have one parent and sometimes that parent is extremely poor. These parents, they are living a very destitute living standards below €1 a day. For everything they do, they cannot even guarantee the very basic needs such like food, clothing, house rent or shelter, and a place to help these children with a better education. Kindly do help something. Volunteer to help, even in any way of fundraising. Wherever you can, please. Change one child's life, and one day the child will remember that someone, somewhere, who did something to make her life a dignified life, and is the reason he or she is able to bridge from the cycle of apathy, dependency, poverty, ignorance, and disease to a reasonable and dignified living standard. These are experiences that traumatize in one single world, but nothing is discouraging than being abandoned, rejected, and alone, especially when it comes from those who are supposed to love and care for you. Unfortunately, these are the reality. For some of the estimated 2.2 million poor orphans and the destitute children in the greater Eastern Africa, this is what they are going through. Only 11% are disadvantaged total orphans. The rest are abandoned by parents or guardians who are either enslaved by poverty or drunkard to care for the innocent children. For the children growing up in orphanage institutions, their statistics are devastating. Once they reach 18 years, they are required to leave, and with no family support and money for continuing with their education, their options remain dismal. It is estimated 70% of boys end up in crime, 60% of girls into prostitution, and 8% commit suicide after leaving the orphanage. But Answer for Dignity hope to change all that by giving up their focuses to spend time with the forgotten orphans. Every day, Unfold looks for sponsors, volunteer international students, and donations just to help the education of these abandoned kids. But the love extended to these lonely kids is not limited to anyone, any day, anywhere, in any part of the world. At Unfold, we have been caring for their practical needs as well as providing a playground, love, care, education, healthcare, capacity building, empowerment, and accountability by giving a place for poor orphans and the destitute children to become creative, focused, destitute, and be kids again. Answer for Dignity, Unfold, finds sponsors, international students volunteers, and donations to provide effective protection, love, care, and accountability to the children who have undergone psychological, social, and physical torture by financing the education of needy children, which includes everything that the child needs in order to go to school. Desolation, hunger and thirst, poverty beyond comprehension, literacy, HIV, AIDS and disease, child prostitution, labor, starvations and psychological suffering is what rules the lives of the destitute people at the grassroots, especially the children living within the slums in towns and remote rural of Kenya, East Africa. With only €2 daily, that is €60 monthly, a disadvantaged child will receive everything necessary to be able to go to school. This include school fees, uniforms, shoes, other footwear and clothing, education and teaching materials, a warm meal every day through our feeding program, textbooks and supplies, clean drinking water, and improved sanitation. If a doctor or hospital visit is necessary, this child can be helped immediately. We feed the poorest 322 children lunch every school day at the local primary school. We give them big portions of healthy local food bought from local farmers, including meat, beans, fruit, African ugali cooked with maize flour, vegetables, and their favorites chapati, among other food in season. For many of these children, their free school lunch is the only meal they eat. Without it, children faint in class, have no energy to learn, and can miss school as they are sent into the streets to search for food. Children also become ill, developing medical conditions they can't afford to treat. Join us. Let's work together for the noble cause in East Africa. At Answer for Dignity, every little bit helps. You can donate a charity to support our endeavors for education to the poor orphans and the destitute children in East Africa by helping other cross obstacles of life in any of the following ways as per your preference. By bank account transfer, please arrange to transfer appropriate amount and support our initiative. Bank name, Equity Bank Limited. Account name, Answer for Dignity, Anford. Account number 1460 1623 90061. Bank code 068. IBAN or SWIFT or sort code EQBLKENA. Equibill Kena. BIC or routing number branch code 146. Country code 254. By using PayPal, account email for donation, nairobi@anford@gmail.com. Hey, volunteer abroad, welcome. Join Answer for Dignity, NGO in Africa. Volunteering abroad. Anford also receives volunteers and international students who come in Kenya, and you are therefore invited to link at Anford to have a great supply of volunteers to uplift the communities through charity and other support. Anford reach poorest people at the grassroots. You are all invited irrespective of barriers and belief. It is so gratifying when you can volunteer for a cause that you can believe in, helping people who are less fortunate than you. It's a great way to get back and can be such a fulfilling experience. Customized volunteer programs, Volunteer in East Africa, social outreach and development, empowerment programs. You can volunteer from 1 up to 12 weeks. At Anford, they have local coordinators, past families, and a web of incredible volunteer opportunity overseas. Through education, Anford, children are given the opportunity to build a better future for themselves. They all have massive dreams of becoming engineers, doctors, lawyers, even cabinet secretaries, and who work so hard in school to achieve this. By being in school, Anford children are also protected from the dangers of prostitution, street life, drug abuse, and child marriage. And more than anything, their confidence and happiness increases dramatically with a new hope for their future. Answer for Dignity NGO arrange short-term international, intern international students and long-term volunteer abroad to projects in East Africa countries such as Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Ethiopia, Burundi, and South Sudan. Designed with flexibility and customized attention with volunteer options in teaching English, medical and healthcare, child education welfare, environmental conservation, public health and community awareness. You will be involved in planning and implementing a project which uses games, song and dance, art and crafts, classwork, education, service and storytelling to allow these children to have fun while learning and developing at the same time. So, can we also volunteer in Ghana, South Africa, Tunisia, Djibouti, Malawi, Swaziland, Zimbabwe and Zambia, just to mention a few? Make a lasting impact that changes life and provide you one of the most rewarding experiences of your life. Volunteering abroad. Visit Answer for Dignity NGO and experience your horizon. Join Answer for Dignity NGO in Kenya, Eastern Africa, supporting education and livelihood projects to improve the living standards for the poor, orphans and destitute children. I hope you are inspired to know that if many can dream big, so can we. There are no walls. Find the right place and you'll make your walls doors. You are invited to visit our website, Answer for Dignity, and before you leave, please contact us and leave us a note. We need prayers and your financial support. The work for education to the poor, orphans and the destitute children in Kenya, Eastern Africa is continuing, and we appeal for more support and volunteers to join Answer for Dignity NGO is giving love to these precious children. And let's change the statistics. Please send us your comments through our email today, nairobianford@gmail.com. You can also use your mobile phone and call live or even send us a text message to +254 722 322 322 or follow us on our Twitter handle @Anford NGO. You can instantly donate or fundraise on our behalf, or even come personally to volunteer and even join us. It is the policy of the organization to provide equal opportunities without regard to race, color, nationality, origin, gender, sexual preference, age, disability, tribe, culture, political affiliations, background, belief, or even religion. Anford has a number of specific projects to which intern international students and sponsors can donate or even consider working with, including one devoted to poorest orphans and vulnerable children's education, feeding programs, capacity building, and communities' behavioral change communication. Our administrative expenses are low and never at any time pay outrageous staff salaries. This will always mean that 99.5% of good portion of your donation ends up directly to the cause where you wanted it to. Only 0.5% will go for administrative and logistic expenditure where applicable. Please feel free to inbox us for inquiries, asking questions to be sure before getting behind something. Promote Anford if you believe in us. Admire our transparency and financial audited statement for accountability to any drop of coin you donate. Join Anford to work with children in schools and orphanages. It will be a life-changing experience. Sincerely, let's secure a better future for the disadvantaged community together.